So hello everyone, thank you for joining us and welcome to this webinar on impactful campaigns on energy and efficiency renovations. In the next 60 minutes or so, we will explore funding schemes in Europe for energy efficiency, energy efficient building renovations and how these schemes incorporate energy performance certificates, so EPCs. My name is Axel Feidengruber. I work at Climate Alliance, the largest city network focusing on climate protection and adaptation measures, and one of the partners in the crossCert project. First, next slide, please. First of all, there's a little advertisement on our own behalf. And because this webinar today is the first of 6 webinars hosted by different projects of Climate Alliance on the road to our international conference, which takes place on the 9th to the 11th of October in Cascais, Portugal. And there are many European stakeholders and local actors come together to discuss sustainable future related topics in working groups and workshops and in a general get-together. So feel free to register with the QR code here and you can take a look at all the events taking place. But now back to topic. We are, of course, from the crossCert project too. And crossCert is an Horizon 2020 project financed by the European Commission and has the aim of harmonizing European energy certificates as well as create a people-centric design and improve user experience of these EPCs. This task fell, amongst others, into my colleagues Anne Toffin's lab, and she has a background in civil engineering and worked in the field of energy efficiency for many years now. And she's also a licensed energy advisor, so she was perfect for the job. Her task was to write the deliverable 5.4, which wanted to figure out how EPCs, energy performance certificates, can be promoted and marketed in the most efficient and impactful way. So today we will hear from the results of her research, and to give a hint, it's not only desk research, but also some very personal experiences which go into her experiences. So before we start, just a few rules, of course. Keep yourself muted when you don't speak, and we will record the session, so turn off your camera if you don't want to be seen. And for questions, please use the chat, and then we will answer them at the end. So we will collect these questions, and then we will go over them at the end. So thank you all, and Anne, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Axel, for this introduction. Good morning from my side. As Axel said, the past few months I work on a report on promotion and marketing of energy performances certificates, product and services, and it's partly the result of this report that I will present here. The focus of this webinar will be on how to create compelling and effective communication campaign to drive home renovation. You will gain some insight on engaging your citizen effectively in energy efficient renovation. And it will be illustrated by numerous examples from different European countries. And the last but not the least, you will learn why the French custom of apéro could help to boost energy efficient renovation. And at the end, we will have time for some questions. I don't know. Oh. And before I start with the presentation, I would like to share with you this picture and to know how do you feel when you look at this picture, and that you use the Mentimeter, the QR code or the web addresses to share your feeling. 1 or 2 words to come to mind using the Menti to see how do you feel when you look at this picture.
There's also a link in the chat if you want to use that. I can start sharing the results.
Should I stop to share
yes,
my screen?
please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can see that the most the word that I hear is hopeful, sad, potential, the challenge, happy, too much work, in need of renovation, confident. I think it's there is more feeling and then words, so emotion, and then in the word you share, and it's for me it's quite interesting because should we stop sharing, Axel? I will come back to the picture. Upsala. Because this picture, I took this picture last summer, and this is the picture of my houses. And as we started the renovation work last summer, and I can see I was quite nervous. It was a lot of work. It was like nervous because what about the weather condition? It's look a little bit gray in the yeah and a lot of work, and yeah, I was quite worried about a big storm, a lot of rain, and what could happen. We have to clear out the first floor and to put everything in one room, and then what we didn't know at that time is that we will live in half of the houses for several months, and I decided to show you this picture because and this is another visual used in Germany for communication campaign on renovation. And if you see the two pictures, there is a big difference between reality and between the picture used in marketing to promote energy efficient renovation measure. And also most of the communication campaign, they focus on financial aspect, and they consider that the property owner, they make rational decision motivated by financial factor and energy saving. But in my case, I can say that no, it's not the true, and that we need to use some other argument to motivate the people. Because yes, there is a big difference between reality and fiction. And I will say that that it's not just a question, renovation is not just a question of money, it's not just a rational decision, but it's much more an exhausting journey. And I really like this quote because it describes quite good difficulty faced by homeowner when they decided to carry out renovation work. It's like it's an energy efficient renovation measure, are extensive consumer decision, and imply high cognitive as well as emotional involvement from the homeowner. And I decided to share this quote with you because for me, it's so important. When you want to design a communication campaign to drive home renovation, you need to know through which journey the homeowner went before he decided to carry out renovation. And without understanding this process, I think that it will not be possible to design the right campaign for this person. And that's why I try to illustrate the homeowner decision-making journey with this slide to explain what is the journey, what are the parameters that influence the choice or the decision of the homeowner. At the top of the, it's look a little bit complicated, but I think the journey is more complex than this illustration. But I will explain a little bit. At the top, you have all the information about the homeowner and the political situation. And you have information like what is the fiscal context, what is the regulatory policy context, has the homeowner access to capital? And then you have some information about behavior. What are the information, the socio-demographic characteristic of the homeowner? For example, how old is he or she? How much money do they earn? Do they have children? Then the dwelling characteristic, how big is the property? How old is the building? Where is located? It is in a big city. It is on the countryside. What is the energy classes of the building, and what about environmental concern? Are the homeowner interested in climate protection? Do they use public transport? Things like that. And what about the energy concern? This is what are the price for the energy actually. And also one thing is also important is what are the how does the property owner behave facing a risky situation? Because when we speak about energy efficiency renovation, we plan to do something, but we are never sure that the result will be as we expected. And then it's this risky situation is something also important. And when you just look at the top of this illustration, it's about the situation, the current situation. And then I would say that the homeowner, he normally have a better images of his properties than the reality is. And in this situation, he do not recognize the need to take action. And then there is some other parameters that influence his decision. And then we have on the left side the enabler, and on the right side the influence. And the enabler, there's an element or event in the life of the homeowner that encourage awareness of the need of renovation. And this is the condition of domestic life is something, for example, that they need more place, or these are the trigger. As trigger, we have, for example, the homeowner life cycle, what happened in the life, the retirement, or having children and things like that. But I will come later in more detail about this different topic. And then the influences, it's what is very important, it's the social network and the professional network around the homeowner. They influence a lot the decision of the homeowner about renovation. And what are the information sources available to find some information about renovation, and then the socio-economic factor. And then it's not a linear journey that the homeowner embarked. It's going from here, the enabler, then he's looking for some information about something, he talk with his neighbor, and then he come back. The child is maybe going to school and they change something, and you mean that everything is evolving. Yeah. And at the end, we have this decision-making process and the renovation decision. But right now, I speak quite a lot about this process, the homeowner renovation decision-making journey, but not that much about communication campaign. But I will say now we have the 9 key steps of a communication campaign, starting by defining the target audience and ending with the monitoring of the success of the campaign. And later, I will come back to the 5 first points one by one. And now I try to put the key step of the communication campaign together with the homeowner renovation decision-making journey. And I take, the element of the communication campaign, applies them to our decision-making journey. And then at the end, we get the following illustration. And at the top, we have again who homeowner, which is our target group and also called sometimes persona in the marketing context. On the left side, we have the promotion message. What could be the content of the promotion message? It could be some trigger of renovation. It could be some benefit of the renovation. Then on the right side, we have the trust person, the person the homeowner trusts, because I think it's so important to have person to deliver the message that the homeowner trusts. And then we need always to have some reliable information sources to support the process. I think the first question that you need to answer when you start working on a communication campaign is, who is your target group? It's so important because it makes no sense if you start without to know the target audience. And we say that the property owner, they are not an homogeneous group. They are so different kind of people. And that's why in the field of marketing, they use the concept of customer person. And this is one of the example taken from a study, a personnel-based approach to domestic energy retrofit. And they present in this publication different kind of persona. And I like this concept because it's the concept of persona. It's a semi-fictional profile, and that include key information about the target group. For example, the needs, the interests, the belief. And this knowledge, they are so helpful to reach out to your customer. If you do not know this information, it will be very difficult to design a good communication campaign. And then we have the promotion message. It's the second point. And I think these are just some proposition about the content of the message. I will propose 4 ideas. And the first one is that the property owner, he rarely decides to carry out insulation work simply because he now wants to insulate their home. It's usually linked to something other. And in my case, it was exactly like this, because the roof was a little bit broken and we need to renovate the roof. And that's why we decided to put some insulation also. And I think that it could be a very good idea to bundle energy efficient measures in broader type of home improvement, like redoing the facade, like the roof, building an extension. And another thing, I'm not sure that if it's a good idea, but in most of the country, the kitchen and the bathroom, they are the 2 rooms in a house that are most frequently renovated. And I think it could be interesting to try to do something with this information. The second idea is that the renovation are triggered by some condition. The condition of domestic life, for example, because the need in the house changed for comfort, for space, or because something happen in your life, and then there is some time that in some situation, the homeowner is more likely to carry out some renovation measure. And then it could be interesting to have this kind of message delivered. Then another things, it's another idea is that to have some message that that consider that the homeowner undertake renovation works step by step, and rarely in decide to renovate the complete houses, and also it's so interesting to because I read several times that the dwelling, they are marker of social belonging, and I think that for energy efficiency renovation measure, it's so difficult to, because they are not marker of social belonging. When you renovate your roof and put some insulation at the end, it's better, but you see nothing, no improvement. If you do some renovation work in your kitchen or in your bathroom, everyone will see, or not everyone, but your visitor will see that you change something in your houses. But with insulation, most of the time you see nothing. And another idea, it could be to highlight the advantage of the energy efficiency renovation, like increase the comfort. And I think it's something that the Belgian part, the French-speaking Belgian part did really good with this illustration, because it's something quite difficult to show that the comfort increase through renovation work. Another idea is that it's really important to create appealing message that with stories that inspire the homeowner and that resonates with their daily life. And I really like this design from Spain. I'm sure it doesn't suit the taste of all target group, but it's a good example. The next slide is about who delivered the message, because I said before that it's very important to give the floor to the people that the homeowner trusts. And in several studies, the homeowner mentions that they trust family, friend, neighbor, and the craftsmen that undertake renovation work in their home. And I think it could be very interesting to give the floor to these people. And I will come back to this later. But in any case, this person had the one who influenced a lot the decision of the homeowner to undertake renovation or not. And I mentioned also how important it is to find reliable information sources about renovation. And the homeowners, they mentioned several times that the government, the energy agency, and the consumer association are the one who deliver this kind of information. In this case, we have an illustration, a schematic representation of all the advice format that the German Consumer Association proposed, and it's very good with one phone number. Then you have counseling with the phone at the counseling center, video, you have some courses, some online webinar, and if you need it, if it's necessary, they also come to your home, and just for a very small amount of money, what is a very good things. As I said before, the social circle around the property owner, it's very important, because in this circle, they speak about a lot of things, and then it has a lot of influence about the belief that the homeowner have on renovation. And if this friend, family, and neighbor had bad experiences on renovation, it will influence a lot the property owner. Also, if these people, friend, family, are spreading some misconception or misinformation about heating system, renovation, these can have a very negative impact on the property owner. And they may simply decide to abandon their project. And that's why I think that it's very important to offer some concept to speak together, that the property owner with his friend, family, neighbor can speak about renovation, but with a professional with him. And that's why I think that these three kind of format of exchange could be very helpful to boost energy renovation. The one is the Energy Caravan. It's a municipal energy consulting campaign. I need to be quite careful about what I say, because I thought that my colleague Jan Schwarz in the audience is responsible for this campaign, and he will have especially on this topic on the 11th of September a webinar, and I invite you to register to receive more information. I just say a few words, and Jan, do not hesitate to interrupt me if not the reality, but it will be short. It's a municipal it's a campaign on energy consulting. It happened on the municipal level and on a selected neighborhood. And in this neighborhood, the citizen receive free energy advice from a professional, and on all the topics that are building relevant. And I think it's quite good because it happened in the neighborhoods. It means that you can speak about the experiences of the other neighbor and so, and also to have a professional at your property, it's something very good. Another one, it's the thermographic walk. I think it's a very well-known concept that an energy advisor with a thermal imaging camera go for a walk with in a neighborhood with 20, 30 people, took some picture of the houses, and show after the walk. It takes 1.5 hours, and then after that they speak about the picture and see where there is a heat lost in the houses and what solution you can apply to change the situation. And the other one is what I said before. If you are not French, maybe you do not know the apéro concept, but it's very common that we used to have a drink with a neighbor, with a friend. And what I really like, it's not like a dinner invitation. It's more like something informal. And you know that it takes about 1 hour, and we can talk about everything with a drink. And then when it's time to eat, then you need to leave. And yeah, and Metz Métropole used this concept and decided to extend the concept of apéro with the topic of the energy. And then they propose to have some professional going to an apéro by the people. The volunteer invite 5 to 15 people to their home, and they decided to speak about reducing energy consumption, renovation, energy waste. And it's a very friendly format to interact with family, friend, and neighbor about the topic of energy. And I think that if the friend or the family have spread some misinformation about heating system or about some other topic, I think that all these three formats are quite good to correct this information. And I think that they are quite interesting. And now after having I present before what is very important for a communication campaign, and now I would like to present two renovation strategy. The first one is a French one, and the other one is the one from Brussels capital. And I think it's yeah, let's see. It's this one, the French is run by the state. It's quite new, 2 years old, and it is in cooperation with the local authority, and it's also managed by the National Housing Agency. And it was set up in 2022 to advise and support households in their energy renovation project. It's designed to be a one-stop shop. It means that you have a very good web platform. This is the design of the platform on the right side. And there is also a unique national telephone number. And also across France, there is 600 advice center to help you on your renovation journey. And as they decided to launch this platform and this national strategy, they coupled the launch of this platform and the strategy with a large-scale communication campaign. And they use a wide variety of media to reach out all the audience. And here you can see it's part of the communication campaign, the format, the location, the timeline, the target group. We find again the key element of the communication campaign. And you can see I really like this format because they use press insert, radio spot, video broadcasts on social network, and something special is freebies such as bread and pharmacy bag. And I would say in France, it's part of the daily routine to go to the bakery to buy a baguette. And I think it's funny that they decided to have some bread bags as a freebie. But one of the formats also I really like is some short Facebook video. And this is one of it's a screenshot of this video, and it's interesting because it's very short. It lasts about 2 or 3 minutes, and they are a sort of testimonial from people who have carried out renovation work in their home. And it starts with the short presentation of the property, then that the works that the property owner did, and then the owner explain how they went about obtaining advice from professional, what work they have carried out, and finally they speak about the money. And I really like it's this storytelling format, and that the owner break the taboo on the financial aspect and say, okay, I received this subsidy and I have to pay this amount of money. Another format of the communication campaign, it's a traveling exhibition. They have 2 tiny houses on wheel, and they are traveling through France. This campaign is currently taking place. There is 12 stops through France. The exhibition remain in each town for 2 days. It's coupled with a lot of different other activity like thermographic walk, things like this. And I think this format is it's interesting because it's like a showroom where you can experience the benefit of the energy efficiency building refurbishment, and also because the homeowner can visit the exhibition and is in direct contact with the energy advisor, and I think it's one step less in the decision-making process that is in direct contact with the advisor. The other campaign I would like to present is Renolution Brussels, and it's a renovation strategy of the Brussels capital region. And he has 4 strategic pillars. The energy performance certificate is a very important part of this strategy because it's mandatory. And then they are more the focus on professional and housing association, vulnerable people, and they decided for the video presentation of the campaign to give the floor to Vince Canté. It's a journalist and influencer and environmental campaigner, and in just 2.5 minutes, he explained the whole strategy, including the main player, incentive, loan, and what you should take action. And yeah, and if you want later to have a look to the video or to some other support, there is always the sources mentioned that you can watch by yourself the document. Some other support or formats they use, it was the billboard at town entrance, video on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and in special renovation magazine, because the target group, one of the target group of this campaign are a renovation professional, and one on the left side you can see one screenshot presenting a little bit this campaign, and I think it's this time they give the floor to a woman working in the construction industry and talking about why she chose this profession. And the other one is more, it's about energy performances certificate, because as I told before, they are mandatory in Brussels to undertake to carry out renovation work. And I really liked the design because it referred to Brussels as the capital of comics. We are coming to the end of this presentation, and I prepare some takeaway message. And the communication campaign should be integrated in a renovation strategy, resonate with the homeowner life, and consider the trigger point for renovation, deliver inspiring message to homeowner, provide easy to understand, highly visual information, and consider the social circle of the homeowner. And to conclude, I have a short video from the Danish Energy Agency, which illustrates the key point of the campaign to promote energy renovations that I mentioned before. I stop sharing, Axel, and then you can.
Yes. Second.
Hej med dig. Onkel Ejder. Så bliver man sgu usejr, hva'? Hej Amanda.
Hej Anna.
Skal vi kigge på det? Yes, super. Perfekt til børneværelset. Gasfyr, perfekt. Alle skifter til vindmøller og varmepumper. Gassen, den slipper aldrig op.
Er det ikke et oliefyr?
Ja, iskoldt. Det bliver jeg glad for til sommer.
Det trækker virkelig meget ved vinduet.
Godkendt. alt for tæt. Der skal være luftcirkulation. Perfekt. Perfekt. Ej!
And if you want to read more in detail all the things I explain right now, you can download the deliverable, the report on promotion of marketing and EPC product and services. I think, Axel, you will share the link in the chat, and do not hesitate to contact me.
Thank you, Anne. Yeah, the link is already in the chat. You can find it there. And we also have some questions. So you can put your questions in the chat or raise your hand later. But the first question would be from Guillaume Joly. He's a familiar to the project, but he is asking, you mentioned consumer organizations as one of the reliable sources of information on energy retrofits. Is it sourced in a survey? Would you have a link?
I think that I have the sources in the deliverable. Yeah, I will be able to share the sources later.
Okay. And then there was a question from Lara Beckenberg, but it was already answered by Jan about the camels. And then another question from Guillaume wasn't Renolution's budget 2024 dry as of April with requests from authorities to stop sending applications?
It's
So
possible. I think that Guillaume is based in Brussels, and he probably have much more information about the Brussels campaign that I have. I focus essentially on the support, the promotion format of the campaign, and not on the
okay. It was he clarified that it is a rhetorical
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
It was. So it was very successful.
Yeah. Means that the communication campaign was very good to support the campaign and so successful. Yeah. Yeah, very nice, Guillaume, to have your feedback about what is the acceptance on site.
This would be our last question from the chat. If somebody has a question, they can also raise their hand and directly ask, or again, put it in the chat. I would suggest we will wait a few minutes, then we don't have to stretch it out longer than needed. But if you don't have anything to say, you can
I
have
can
the
just
last.
say that
You can have some finishing remarks if you want.
Yeah, I can just say from my point of view, these are some propositions I made, but it do not mean that it's the assurance for success. I just think that the communication campaign on renovation, they focus on this financial aspect, and I just would like to show with this presentation and with this example that it's much more complicated, the process when the homeowner when he decide to carry out home renovation, and then that it's not reflect in this communication campaign, and that we have the possibility to be much more creative to support the need and the want to embark on this journey, and that yeah.
Oh, there's one question, I think, or two. And from Pina
Yeah.
Pol, do you have any input on how to address companies instead of private homeowners?
Yes, for sure. In this report, I focused mostly on the homeowner, but I also say something about companies that they to include to work closer with the energy advisor, that they also promote a good image of energy performance certificate. It could be very helpful if they believe also in this instrument, and that they have more information about why they are important and why and also that the company, I think that the company coming to the homeowner for renovation work, or sometimes just for some reparation in the bathroom, they need to have more information about energy efficient renovation, because they are coming to the property of the homeowner, and they have the possibility to interact with him, and the information they deliver to this to the homeowner are so important. But most of the time these company have they do not have a lot of knowledge about renovation. For sure, they are the profi with bathroom, but they do not know maybe a lot of things about heating system and things like this. And I think that it could be very helpful to give them like a flyer, how to receive better advice on renovation. And then, and also to provide them like a training that they are able to deliver some good information about energy efficient renovation. It's also part of the report how to involve more this company.
Okay, thank you, Anne, again. So, okay. Okay. I think you again you can have the final word, Anne, if you want, but other than that, I think we're okay. There just came in a second question. Last minute questions. Are some of the criteria of good communications you mentioned scientifically backed markers of successful campaign turnout? Can you share studies on this topic? So
I think that everything I explain right now, if you read the report, there is a sources for everything. And I think it's in the PDF document, it's quite easy to navigate from one capital to the other. And at the end, you find all the sources. I think that you can, yeah, I think you can find quite a lot of things in this. And also the sources I mentioned here in the presentation. We will send the presentation to all the participants in the next day. And then if you do not find the things you really need, then you can contact me and I will help you to find the information.
okay, I think we wait just a few minutes because maybe someone has something on their mind. It's typing. Again, you can find the link to the webinar on the energy caravan in the chat, as well as to the deliverable, so to the full document. It's in the chat as well. And then if you click on the link, you have to scroll down a bit because all of the deliverables are listed from the project, but you can find it under D 5.4.
And I think also maybe you can share the link for the registration for the other webinar, because we are addressing this renovation topic on different angle. Like the next one next week from 11 to 12 is on the one-stop shop, and then the next one after on the energy caravan from Jan. And we are, I think it could be very interesting to attend this other webinar.
I will post the link again. But I think there are no more questions in the chat. So thank you again, Anne, for your great presentation and the good work. And thanks to all the participants for your questions. And see you again at the next webinar.
Thank you, Axel.
Goodbye. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.